Welcome, Radiant Soul. Something has already begun shifting, and your body felt it before your mind had words for it. The light reached its peak a few days ago. Litha came, the longest day arrived, and now, so quietly you might not have named it, the year has started its turn toward the dark. The days are getting shorter. The season is changing direction. And there's a part of you that has been changing direction too, for a while now, whether or not you gave it permission. Your body is crossing a threshold of its own. Maybe it has a name you've been given. Perimenopause, menopause, the change, as the old women used to call it, lowering their voices into whispers. Maybe it doesn't have a name yet, just a growing sense that the body you're living in now is not the one you knew. The shape is slightly different. The weight settles in places it didn't used to. The rules that used to work have quietly stopped working, and you're moving out of the season of bearing into the season of the Crone. And almost no one prepared you for what that would actually feel like in the body. You know the part of you I mean. It's the part of you that has tried the exercise, the eating, the discipline, the mindset, the supplements, the protocols, all of the things. The part that has done what you were told would work and watched your body go on doing exactly what it does anyway. The part that's so tired in a way rest doesn't fix. Tired of fighting a body that won't be argued with. I'm not going to ask you to stop feeling that today. What's gathering right now is older than any of the advice you've been given. The planet of expansion has recently crossed a threshold, leaving behind a long season of the mother and stepping into the season of the sovereign heart. And right now, the turning of the wheel honors the Crone, the oldest face of the feminine, the one who is never afraid of change because she had already lived through all of it. The weavers who spun your life into being are close. This is not a small day. This is one of the most potent thresholds of the entire year, and you arrived here exactly on time. So let me be clear about what this is. This is not a meditation about loving your body. This is not the place where you'll be told to feel grateful before you're ready, or to find the silver lining, or to be positive about something that genuinely hurts. If you have ever sat through one of those and felt more alone at the end of it, this is not that. This is the place where the grief is welcome, the frustration is welcome, the disappointment, the anger, the wish that things were different, all of it has a seat here. And underneath all of that is an older truth waiting to be remembered. A truth about what a body like yours was always meant to mean. This transmission was woven for women and for anyone who carries the feminine wound in their body, in whatever form you currently live in. You are held here. If you are open to receiving what wants to come through today, the light codes, the Reiki healing, simply say yes in your mind's eye now. Beautiful. Before we settle in any formal way, I want to tell your body something. You don't have to try right now. You don't have to hold anything in. You don't have to sit a certain way or breathe a certain way or look like anything at all to be allowed in this room. For the length of this transmission, there is nothing to fix and nothing to improve. So let your jaw become unclenched. Let your shoulders drop down away from your ears. Let your hands rest open or soft, however they want to be. Let the belly be exactly as it is. Good. Let's begin to make some space now. Wherever you are, let your breath come a little slower into the body. Not a big performative breath, just a real one. And when you exhale, let it be longer than the inhale. Let it be the kind of exhale that has sound in it, if a sound wants to come. Again, breathe in. And release. One more time. Inhale. And exhale, letting all of that go. Now gently, I want you to call back your energy. Back from every diet that promised you a different body. Back from every program you started with hope and abandoned in shame. Back from the scale, the mirror, the photograph you couldn't look at. The dressing room. The comparison you made this morning without even meaning to. Wherever your energy is still tangled up in the war with your own body, call it home now. You don't have to know where all of it is. Just set the intention and let it come. And now I want to name something out loud so we can release it together. There is a lens you've been looking through, a standard for what a body is supposed to look like and what it's supposed to do, and when it's supposed to stop changing. You did not invite that lens. It was handed to you. And that handing is barely 100 years old in this particular version of it. Though it wears the costume of something timeless, it is not the truth. It is architecture, built, recent, and designed to keep you reaching. We're going to set that down. Not forever, maybe, but for now, just for the length of this hour, you are going to stop looking through it. Breathe and let the density of that lens begin to lift off the field. The exhaustion of trying to control something that was never yours to control by force. let it loosen its grip. Feel the space that's opening. There's more room in here now than there was a moment ago. Into that space, we are going to call on the ones who hold this work. I want you to know who's gathering, so when you feel each of them draw closer, it's a recognition and not a surprise. We call in the Moirai, the three weavers, older than the gods themselves. Clotho, who spun the thread of your life into being. Lachesis, who measured it with care, who set the length of every season you have ever lived. And Atropos, the crone among them, the one who completes, who closes what is finished not with cruelty, but with reverence. They have been weaving you the whole time. They hold the record of this body in their hands. We call in Hecate, keeper of the crossroads, guardian of the threshold between who you have been and who you are becoming. She stands the place where the path divides, and she holds a light there. She doesn't flinch from change. She has never been afraid of the dark. We call in Gaia, the body of the earth herself. She has been molten and frozen, flooded and parched, lush and barren, and she has never once been less sacred for the changing. She knows what it is to be a body that transforms without asking permission. We call in Quan Yin, the compassionate witness, the one who can hold every tender, grieving part of you without needing it to be different. She comes for the part of you that still mourns the body you thought you'd have by now. And we call in the Oversoul of Aureya, the field of worth without condition, support without earning, belonging that was never up for debate. The frequency that knows your value was never measured in a shape. They are all here now, all of them, around you, beside you, woven through the field with you. The space is prepared. The lens is set down. The weavers are close. So let's begin. We begin where it actually hurts. Not where it's tidy, where it hurts. So let yourself feel right now whatever is true about your body today. I'm not going to talk you out of it. I'm going to sit in it with you. Maybe it's frustration, the bone-deep frustration of doing everything right and watching nothing change, of being told it's about willpower, about discipline, about wanting it badly enough. When you have wanted it so badly for so long, and your body has gone on doing exactly what it does. Maybe it's disappointment. You thought you'd be somewhere else by now. You thought that by this age, in this season, you'd have made peace with it, or fixed it, or at least understood it. And instead, here you are, still wishing the reflection were different. Maybe it's grief, a quiet, specific grief for the body you used to have, for the ease you didn't know was ease until it was gone, for a version of yourself you can't seem to get back. Maybe it's anger at your body for not cooperating, at the years for moving, at a world that's decided a woman's worth had an expiration date and then sold her the cure. Whatever rose up just now, it is welcome here. You do not have to spiritualize it. You don't have to be further along than you are. There is no part of this you need to hide in order to be allowed into this field. The grief is not failure of your healing. The anger is not low vibration. The disappointment is not ingratitude. It's honesty. And honesty is the only thing healing has ever been built on. So let me send some warmth to the place that's been carrying all of this. Let me flow Reiki into the center of you, the solar plexus, where the shame likes to sit. The belly, where the bracing lives. Let the golden current move toward the exact places that have been holding the war. You don't have to resolve anything. You just have to let yourself be met. Good. Stay right there. We're not leaving the feeling behind. We're going underneath it. Here is something almost no one ever told you. Your body has not been failing you. Your body has been keeping a record. Every change you've been at war with, the softening, the settling, the weight that arrived and wouldn't leave, your body did not do any of that to betray you. It did it because at some point in some season, it learned that this was how to keep you safe. And the body does not forget a lesson like that. The body is loyal to the last instruction it was given about survival. Think about what it has actually carried. The years when you were running on empty, and it held onto every reserve it could because it did not trust that more was coming. The seasons of stress, of grief, of too much to hold, when the body laid down softness like armor over the tender places. If you carried children, the way it reshaped itself entirely to make room for life and never fully returned to what it was, because how could it? It had to become a different body, a body that had done something miraculous. What you've been calling resistance is loyalty. What you've been calling failure is record. This is not a broken body. This is a body that survived everything you survived and kept the evidence in its very shape. Every pound you've resented is a chapter. Every change you've grieved is a season it carried you through. And here's the deeper thing, the thing you already sensed, even if you never said it out loud. So much of this lives in the oldest part of the nervous system, the part that runs underneath thought, underneath willpower, underneath every good intention. It learned what danger felt like a long time ago. And it is still scanning for that same danger now, even when it's long past. It is keeping a record of a world that may not exist anymore. It's protecting you from a threat that already came and went. Now, the body is wise, but sometimes its wisdom is the wisdom of an old map, drawn carefully, drawn lovingly, for territory that has since changed. So we're not going to fight it. You cannot force your way out of a survival pattern. Force only tells your nervous system that the danger is still real. So instead, we're going to begin very gently to let it know that that season it's been bracing for is over. Let the Reiki move down now into the root, into the sacral well, into that deep belly. And as it moves, let this be the message it carries. You are safe now. The things you were surviving, they're all behind you. You can set that armor down. Feel if anything wants to soften. There doesn't have to be any effort in it, just notice. Now I want to take you back. Much farther back than the standard you've been measuring yourself against, because that standard is new. I told you earlier it was barely 100 years old, and I really want you to let that land. The idea that a woman's body should stay small, stay young, stay smooth, stay the same, that the changing body is something to correct or to fight or to apologize for, that is not ancient wisdom. That is a recent invention sold to you by the people who profit from your reaching. Before that lens existed, the body you are living in right now was the most revered body in the room. The oldest images we have of the sacred feminine, carved tens of thousands of years before our era, were not slim. They were full, round, soft-bellied, broad-hipped, heavy-breasted. Our ancestors took stone, the hardest and most lasting thing they had, and into it they carved the body of a woman who had lived. They held that body as holy, as the very shape of life itself. The woman who had passed through her burying years was not discarded. She was elevated. The blood that no longer left her body was understood to be wisdom retained, held inside, and no longer given away. She became the keeper, the midwife, the medicine woman, the one the others came to when they needed the truth of things. Her body was not past its purpose. Her body was the proof of her authority. This is the crone, and the crone was never a diminishment. She was the culmination. The Moirai are weaving close to you now. Feel them. Lachesis measured the length of your seasons with intention. The bearing years given their span, and then this passage, this turning given its own. What is happening in your body is not a malfunction. It's the thread arriving exactly when it was measured to arrive. You are not feeling the design, you are living it. In Atropos, the crone among them does not cut the thread of your youth with malice. She closes that season the way you close a sacred book, with reverence for everything it held, and a quiet knowing that the next chapter could not begin until this one was honored. There is a wound here too, and I'm not going to pretend that there isn't. It's the wound that learned somewhere along the way that your body had to look a certain way to deserve love, to deserve desire, to deserve to take up space and be seen and wanted. That wound lives in the body itself, in the worth you've tied to a shape. And it's being touched right now at this exact moment in the turning of the sky, because the wounded place and the healing place have come into alignment. The very part of the heavens that governs the body's worth is being met by the part that expands and blesses. This is a healing point, a completion. The old wound in the body's worth is being offered its medicine. Let the Reiki rise now from the root where you are safe, up through the sacral well where your life force lives. All the way up now to the heart. Let it carry the old knowing with it. This body is sacred. Not someday, not when it changes. Right now, in this shape, in this season, exactly as it is. Gaia's frequency moves up with it. The earth who has been every shape and stayed holy through all of them. She offers you the same truth she has always lived. You don't have to hold one form in order to be sacred. You never did. So here is where the two truths meet. The body kept a record of an old world, and the body can be given new evidence. This is not wishful thinking. The nervous system is not fixed. It's listening all the time to the signals it receives about whether it is safe, whether it is worthy, whether the danger has passed. And it responds to those signals far more than it responds to force. You already know this in your life. You felt your body change in an instant when you felt truly safe, truly held, truly loved. The body listens to the field it lives in. There is real science gathering around this now. The understanding that the inner state, the felt sense of safety and worth, sends signals all the way down to the cellular level. That the body is not simply taking orders from your diet and your discipline. It is taking orders from your nervous system's deepest belief about whether it is safe to be here as you are. Which means the work was never more control. The work is new evidence. So let's give it some now. Let the Reiki flow into the heart center and let it carry the Aureya frequency with it, the field of worth without condition. Let your body receive, maybe for the first time in a long time, the signal that it is not the problem to be solved. Into the solar plexus now. And as it flows, let the grip of control loosen. The endless management, the monitoring, the bracing for the next thing to fix. Let the body hear, you can stop fighting me. I am on your side. into the sacral well now, the seat of creation, of pleasure, of life force that was never meant to be earned through suffering. Let it be restored here. Let your body remember that it's allowed to feel good in itself, regardless of its shape, regardless of the societal standards. And down into the root, the deepest part of all. You are safe in this body. You are safe in this form. You are safe in this season. There is nothing to brace against anymore. Hecate is standing at the crossroads with you now. On one path, the one you have been walking, the war, the reaching, the lens. On the other, something quieter, a body you listen to instead of fight, a mirror you meet with compassion before critique. She is not asking you to choose right now. She knows you may not be ready, and she doesn't rush the threshold. She simply holds the light so you can see that the other path exists. And as the distorted lens keeps lifting, a little today, a little more each time you return to this transmission, your body gets to respond to something new. Not to force, to frequency. To the steady, accumulating evidence that it is safe and worthy and home. Stay here in the warmth just a moment longer. Everything that just moved is still settling, and there is no rush. I want to show you something. Not the future the way you've been taught to want it. Not a smaller body, not a fixed body, not the after photo. Something far truer than that. I want you to sense the version of you who has stopped fighting. She's not necessarily a different shape. That's not the point, and it never was. What's different is how she lives inside herself. She wakes up and her first thought about her body is not critique. She catches her reflection and something in her softens instead of braces. She has stopped treating her body like an opponent in a negotiation and has started treating it like what it actually is. The oldest, most loyal companion she has, the one that carried her through every single thing. She listens to it now. When it's tired, she lets her body rest without the guilt. When it's hungry, she feeds it without the math. When it wants to move, She moves for the joy of it and not the punishment. She is not at war anymore. And here's what I want you to know. She did not arrive there through more effort. She didn't white knuckle her way into peace. She got there the way you are getting there right now, by returning again and again to the field that tells your body the truth. By giving the nervous system new evidence, one transmission, one moment of safety, one act of self-compassion at a time. The body responded because it felt safe enough to do so. Let's seal this all in. Feel the Aureya frequency move through the whole body now, like a current of warm gold, finding every place we touch today. The heart, where the worth lives. The solar plexus, where the control is loosening. The sacral well, where the life force is restored. The root, where the safety is taking hold. And let the symbol of Aureya settle over the whole field now. Infinite flow, source, the infinite again. Worth without beginning or end, with the wellspring of all support held safe in the center. Let it seal what was remembered here. The more I confirm it, the thread continues whole and unbroken, woven with intention. Nothing about you is a mistake in the design. Atropos has honored what was completed, and Clotho is already spinning what comes next. Now let's bring you all the way home, into the body, into the room, into this ordinary and holy day. Let the Reiki pour down one more time through the root, and down through the legs, down into the soles of the feet, like roots reaching into the earth. Let Gaia receive them. Let her hold the weight of you the way she has always held it, without judgment, without condition. You belong to her. You are made of her. Your changing body and her changing body are the exact same sacred thing. Take a breath that fills your whole chest now, a real one, the fullest one you've taken all session. And let it go. When you're ready, begin to come back. Wiggle your fingers and toes. Roll your shoulders gently and let your awareness return to the surface of things. To the light in the room. To the sounds around you. Before you go, let's thank the ones who came. To the Moirai, Clotho, Lachesis, and Atropos, who held the record of this body and reminded us it was woven with care. To Hecate, who held the light at the crossroads and did not rush the threshold. To Gaia, who showed us that a changing body has never once been less sacred. To Quan Yin, who witnessed every grieving part with perfect compassion. And to the Oversoul of Aureya, who held the field of worth without condition through all of it. Thank you. Thank you, thank you. Now, Radiant Soul, hear this before you leave. Nothing about you needs to be fixed for you to be whole. You're not behind and you're not too late. You're not too much. You are a body that remembers everything, and that memory is not your wound, it's your wisdom. You're exactly where the thread was measured to bring you. And if today you only managed to set the war down for a single hour, that's enough. That is the work. You'll return, and each time you do, the lens will have lifted just a little bit more, and your body will meet you a little softer. This is not a thing you finish. It's a thing you continue to come home to. And if something in you wants to keep giving your body this new evidence, if you felt, even for a moment, what it's like to stop fighting and start belonging to yourself again, that's the doorway into return to flow. It's a 21-day journey of exactly this. Returning to the Aureya field daily, letting the nervous system gather enough safety to truly shift, not through force, but through frequency. The body changes when it finally feels safe to do so. And you'll find the link in the description below or over at manifestdifferently.com/flow whenever it calls you. And if you're not ready, that's welcome too. The field is always here. Until we meet again, be gentle with the body that carried you here. You are whole, and you always were.